Hey, this is Jen Berryhill, and I am coming to you today. It is April 22nd of 2020. Today is also the new moon, and it's Earth Day. So happy Earth Day, happy new moon. Spirit's urging me once again to put out some information for you all. Based on the video that I did about a week ago, I was sharing a little bit about some of the messages that had come through Vision Quest, and just let everyone know that if they wanted to have more information to contact me and let me know. And so I got a lot of requests for that information. So they're saying, yeah, go ahead and just do this video and share this. So this will be information coming through from Vision Quest, my Humblecha on 4/4, as well as this integration period post fasting, leading up to today, which happens to be another 444 number of 4/22/2020. And so some of this may resonate with you, some of it may not resonate with you at all because of, just that request coming through for this information. So if it doesn't resonate with you, be kind in your comments. I would really appreciate just the support of one more person giving out some information at this time. And this is all done from love and through sincerity. And there were some really big prayers that went up during that Humblecha, that vision quest. And so it's really interesting what has developed through the information that they've given. And the time that I was fasting in the lodge what happened to be over the quarter moon. So the quarter moon energies are the 1313 energies. And the messengers that came in during that time were the archangels, as well as Mystery of Mystery Woman. And so the archangels were reminding me that this time is, we're using these qualities of prayerfulness and faith and innocence. And so they really focused on innocence as a big part of what was needing to come through for the prayers. And so a lot of times what they'll do is they'll have me really look at the word that I'm focusing on. So in this case, innocence. And so it's interesting because they're saying that this, is an energy that has been taken over, you could say hijacked and manipulated. And there's a lot coming to light right now around the children and what's been going on. So of course, a lot of my prayers go toward helping free our children. And that was this Freedom StarGate that I was working with. And so they said, look at the word innocence. And they said, this one's been hijacked and we can show you why. And so they had me look at how it's spelled. And so I thought I wrote it down, but I did not. So it's spelled INNOCENCE. So innocence, if you Google it or ask Siri what it is, this is defined as a lack of guilt in any kind of crime or wrongdoing. It's also a euphemism for a person's virginity. But really, it needs to be in no sense. Innocence, in no sense. So INNOSENCE. So in no sense. So this leads you down the wormhole. And it's really significant for us to look at this at this time, because what this is doing is bringing us back into a time where a reality was created. So just for instance, let's say I held up a card and it showed a picture of a blue car. And I asked you, well, what is this? And 100% of you, if not, close to that, would say that's a blue car. So where did you learn that? And you might likely say, well, I was taught that at a really young age, maybe by my mother, by my father, by my grandmother, You know, I was 1, 2 years old, and I'm learning the world, and they're teaching me, here's this blue car. So that became a programming of an idea, which is now in my reality. And same like with a red balloon. Let's say I held up a card, it's a red balloon. How do you know it's a red balloon? Well, something in my past told me that that's what this is. So if you go into, in no sense, the innocence, that child, you can actually like recreate a reality. You can redefine what your world is by going back into that space of the void, which has all the information and infinite possibilities, where you can recreate that blue car to be something entirely different. And then that blue car becomes something in our existence. It's something that we grow up believing and using and is part of our reality, right? So hold that thought. So, because there's a lot of information coming in, and I'm trying my best to try and tie it all together to where it makes sense, even to me. So part of what happened during the fast, because I was inside the sweat lodge, I was very, very specifically guided to have a certain number of flags in each direction. Um, they were, telling me how many stones and what songs and everything else. And it wasn't the typical fast that I had experienced in the past. And so, I'm in the lodge, and we brought in 22 stones, and it was really, really hot. And that's where things started. And then I stayed in there, planning to be in there all night to do this prayer, this vision quest. And the heat was extreme. And that was the part that was really intense. And so, and plus it was pitch black. I was in the void. And so there came a point where I realized, okay, I'm in the space that Mystery of Mother Mystery is talking about, which is the dark beyond dark, complete and utter nothingness and everythingness, and feeling this extreme heat. I needed to get toward the door to get some air, and it was me reaching out for that hand for help. And when I did that, I was tossed into the pit of hot stones. These things are thousands of degrees hot, and it happened so fast. I threw out my hands like you would do normally to react, and I came within mm, a little bit of literally face planting into these hot stones with my hands. And all of a sudden, I flew back. Um, I didn't land in the stones, and I didn't get burned, even though my leg was laying on the stones. Didn't get a single burn. And so it was really shocking. And I kind of went into fear. I'm like, what the heck just happened? What is all of this all about? And I proceeded to go to the door and get some air and ask what is going on. And so I closed the door and came back inside, back into that blackness. And they said, we needed to show you what it's like to be in innocence, because that is where all the power in the universe is. And it has to do with your senses. And at that point, I had to completely rely on my senses to get my way around inside the lodge, to where I wasn't going to land back on the stones. And so they brought in a teaching of what that was, and they likened it to, so when let's say you're a parent and you have a child, and that child is just learning how to walk. And we see that when these little ones are at that stage, they are curious about everything. They want to touch, taste, smell, you name it. I mean, they're always moving. And so they're showing me this child who's, running toward a hot burning fireplace. And the parent is, like, no, that's going to be hot. If you touch that, you're going to get burnt. And so we want to protect that child from getting burnt. And so depending on how that parent does that with that child can really instill like a terrifying fear or more of an informed, healthy fear. And so now that child, can either have a sense of what might happen based on, oh crap, I'm gonna get burned. Don't ever do that again. And forever run away from a fireplace, or have a lot of respect around that fireplace and honor it for what it is. And know that if you get too close, you might get burnt. So there was a difference shown to me around fear and how deeply, deeply rooted there's a tie between fear and innocence and being in no sense. So that's the space where we're creating our reality, and we can go back into that time and decide, is that a blue car or a red car? Or is it even a car? Is it even a balloon? Is this a hot fire? How do I need to respond to the situation? So all of this is coming in right now because there was a code that was downloaded. And this code, through a lot of processing, through channels, through dreams, they came to me and said that there's this innocence that we need to be tapping into right now in the space of being in no sense, in that void, because this is a diamond code. This is the diamond code coming in from the central universe to help with the convergence of light. So we're all in the space of converging into light. This is an awakening. And look at the disparity of where we're at. It's extreme fear, it's faith, and cat. There's a lot of cat influence right now too. And so they were reminding me that over the past many years, I kept seeing the numbers 14 and 41. And I'm thinking, oh, well, this must be having to do with the 1414 energies that are coming in. And so I kept focusing on 1414, having worked with 11, 11, 12, 12, and 13, 13. But they said, no, look at 1441. This is a light code activation, and it is the diamond code activation. And so when you look at 1441, that equals 10, which equals 1, which equals oneness. So this diamond code is coming in right now to help us with our remembrance of oneness and unity. And there's a lot going on with this right now because, in fact, let's just take a look at this because 10, that seems to jump out because, look at what they're doing right now. No gatherings of 10 or more. So here we go again, this 10, this completion, this 1 is being taken out of our equation. They're saying, cover your face with a mask. So this is covering your sense of smell. This is covering your sense of taste. They're saying self-isolate, be social distant. So they're blocking our sense of touch. So what's going on is that as our senses are being slowly taken away, that happens naturally sometimes, but right now it's more intentional. It's blocking our innocence. And in our innocence is what holds the power of the universe. And they know that by blocking us getting together, they're keeping us separate. And the goal is where we want to be going, is oneness. So how interesting that all of this is culminating today on this new moon, which is the StarGate of Truth. I mean, you can't plan this stuff. This is just naturally happening. We're in this massive, say informational war. You know, we're all in different realities, understanding what's going on in certain ways through our own filters. We're either in fear, we're either in faith, we're either in love. We're all over the board. And so as these senses are being taken away from us, it's actually magnifying others, not just the 5 that we've been programmed to believe that we hold, but many, many senses. Clairvoyance, our clairaudience, our intuition, all of these things are being heightened. And so the messenger that brings in the teachings about this key, this virtue of the StarGate of Truth, happens to be the tree Chanupa. The name is Two Trees. And so what Two Trees is saying is, first of all, that we're walking trees. You know, we are a tree, and our trees hold the energy of, you know, up in the branches is the celestial sphere. This is where our spirit guides, our spirit chiefs are in relation to the tree. That really wants to be part of this video. And at the bottom, we have the terrestrial realm. And this is where our animals, our plants, our trees, our soils, our crystals, our cells, our protons, neutrons, electrons, everything to the quark. She's reminding me to be playful and have fun and smile more. And so in the middle, the fork in the tree, where you find the human being. So this is showing us that there's 2 pathways of the human. You could say one pathway might be the pathway of fear, one might be the pathway of love. So we've chosen to be in a state of great duality. But at the same time, we're all reaching up into the higher spheres to achieve that balance, oneness, to become whole. So the tree reminds us to respect the Takwe Wayasi, which is that we are all one, we are all related. And so when we're all respecting life, all life, our ability to create our reality, each other's ability to create a reality, and honor it and respect it, that we can achieve this beautiful light that wants to be emanated as a diamond light. So this diamond light, they show very geometrically. Sorry, my screen's going a little buggy. So this is the 1441. So you have the pyramid on top, 4-sided, pointing to the top. And then the 41, 4-1 on the bottom is this pyramid, 4-sided pyramid with a point pointing down. So you putting these together makes the diamond shape. So this will be the 1441. So they're saying right now to use this energy to tap into your in-know sense and define your reality using your senses. So when you do that, that's when you can find your greater truth. So welcome to the StarGate of Truth. I hope this makes sense. For whatever reason, it was coming through this way, and this is an unedited version, and I'm likely to do another version maybe after it, I'm able to process it a little bit more too. And what's great is that we're all in this together. So if this sparks some inspiration or some download or some sort of message that helps to support whatever this is coming through this woman, me, please share that with me, and let's see what we can co-create together. Wanted to tune in one last time and see if there was anything else. I feel like I'm rambling. And honor your fear. Use your ability to perceive life through a filter of healthy fear. This is a tool. This is adapting to your environment. This is an adaptation to your the reality that we're all experiencing. And if we can be in a healthy place with it, it'll stabilize and rebalance and tip the scale more toward love and acceptance and more unity. So, all right, I'm gonna leave it there and send this to you today, and wish you all many blessings and love. And use your diamonds, use your Herkimer diamonds, use the sacred geometry of the diamond shape, and see what comes through for you. All right, I love you. Take care.